Doc. It's the bounty hunter with the most, David.
The most what?
What?
You just said the most. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's the saying. Like, it's me, the host with the most.
The host of what, though? This is for your doctor, right?
Yeah.
But so she knows you. So you're the most of her patients?
No. Clearly, Doc. Caroline's here.
Hi, Doc. This is Caroline, the most assistant, if that's what we're saying now. I really appreciate having two women in power around David. I think he really needs that type of feminine energy to help cure his toxic masculinity, to help kind of just reach him in a way that no one's ever reached him before. And also, I'm better at technology than him, so we'll make sure this recording gets to you.
Listen, last time you stormed in, so I panicked.
I wouldn't call a woman gently entering a room storming in. That's hostile language towards women, and I will not stand for it. And also, when the red button is on, David, it's recording. When the red button is off, it's not recording.
Caroline, do you know I'm colorblind?
I don't think that's true, David, because when we were getting our fits for our camo adventure, which I still don't really understand why we were running through the woods in camouflage, you told me that my green didn't match the green of the luscious trees in Texas. And if you were colorblind, I just don't see how you would know that the color was off, because it was off. I didn't match the trees. But honestly, Abercrombie & Fitch doesn't have Texas dry heat colored clothing. They just have lush greens like the Costa Rican rainforest. And my eyes are really green, and they looked really pretty in that shirt. And you just told me, you didn't even tell me that my eyes looked pretty. You just told me that I didn't match the trees. So how would you have known?
First off, we weren't hunting together. I was out, and you were wearing a bright green when Texas has dark green. So that's why it's not good camouflage.
And that's why you're not colorblind. Moving on. So remember how last time we talked to that cute little bunny? And he was so nice. By the way, he sent us 2 non-refundable tickets to his spa sauna. He and Winnie Doodle will take care of us. I'm not really sure what the value of those tickets is. His little paws were kind of smeared all over the writing. And that was really fun. That one was a good time. And then we talked to that other guy. And that guy tried to kill me several times in several ways in this very room. And I just wanted to say that I appreciate that you didn't let him kill me, even though I know you thought about it.
Listen, I didn't do it for you. I did it because I had to. It's my duty as a hunter. I have to protect everybody, whether I want to or not.
So what I'm hearing you say is I'm a valued asset to your company. And on that note, I got a little letter from a little certain someone who's going to come in today and talk to us. And he said he can fly really fast, so he should be here any minute now. I think his name was Wasp Man or Butterfly Boy or...
You invited Mothman to my personal space and safe house?
That's the one. It was Mothman. Yeah, I remember I was kind of ugh, moth. But then I saw a moth the other day on the light outside, and I was like, maybe he'll be beautiful. And so he should be here any minute now. And I just want to remind you that we're here to talk to them. And you can't assume that someone's going to be rude to you, David. You just have to listen to what they have to say. The other day when I brought you a salad and you asked for a Greek salad, but it was a Caesar salad. And you were like, don't you know the difference? And I was like, no, I don't know the difference. But you ate it. And remember, you were like, actually, I really like Caesar salad. And I'm really happy you brought this to me.
Caesar was Roman, and I have something against the Romans.
It's romaine lettuce, actually.
Yeah, but Caesar was a person.
I think he's here.
Hello. How are you?
Hi. My name's Caroline. You know David, obviously.
Yes, we've run into each other.
That's a word I might use.
Well, I haven't run into you before. I'm so glad you decided to come and talk to us. I think this is really important for David and maybe you too. So we just want to have a conversation with you and figure out what's going on for the Mothman. And I guess the first question is should I call you Mothman or
Yes, my name government-wise is Grayson Weatherby, but most people know me as Mothman.
Before we start this, I'm going to check the structural integrity of the room. So just give me a second.
Ha. Good one.
We're good for now. There's still time.
Are we?
Well, David, you built this room yourself, so I don't think you should be doubting your own construction skills by checking the structural integrity. You've never done that before.
Grayson, do you want to tell her why I'm checking the structural integrity?
You can call me Mothman, David. Grayson is what my friends call me.
Can I call you Grayson?
Yes, you may, ma'am.
Oh, thank you, Grayson.
Of course.
So, Grayson, like, where do you live?
I live, well, not going to say exactly where I live because
course,
people will try and look for me, but some people might call it the old munitions plant.
Who has two thumbs and would look for Mothman to hunt him down? This guy.
You, David. We've gone over this, I believe. Haven't we?
Oh, yes.
Yes, we have. We've run into each other.
So, an old munitions plant? That's kind of like vintage retro of you.
Yes. It's the cause of what I like to say, all of this, so to speak. But that's neither here nor there. Don't come looking for me.
And, like, how long have you, like, lived there?
Wait, what year is this?
This is 2022.
64 was whenever I moved out there. 1964.
And, like, so are you, like, an East Coast boy? Or are you, like, a West Coast boy?
The Appalachian Mountains, boy. Mothman.
Oh, like the song. Take me home, country road, to the place I belong.
West Virginia.
Mountain Mama. Take me home.
Country roads.
Exactly, David.
Except he doesn't use roads
No, I don't use roads. I fly.
and destroys them.
You destroy them. Actually, you know what? It wasn't you. I'll give you that. It was, am I allowed to say the name of the construction company?
Yes.
Smith and Boyle Construction Company. You know what you did in 1966 at the Silver Bridge.
The jury's still out on who or who didn't. I'm in the Mothman camp, obviously. Smith and Boyle are wonderful people. Were wonderful people.
Where?
And, like, I guess, so you're, like, kind of living this isolated life. There's some drama with the construction company. Haven't we all been there? And, like, I guess people, obviously, like, David was, like, the other day, he was like, Mothman, like, like, he's here, he's there. And there's, like, movies about him. And, like, they didn't put me in the movie. And, like, they didn't cast me correctly. And I was like, I guess, how do people know about you? Like, who was the first, like, person who, like, told us, like, that they'd seen you?
It was these streetcar racers. I was just testing out my new wings. And all of a sudden, they were coming down. I can't even remember what highway. It was a random straightaway where a bunch of these kids do hooligan stuff and shenanigans and make out points and whatever they do over there. And they were driving, and I was just testing it out, and they were messing with my flow. And I jumped on their car and then jumped off, tried to scare them off, but they just kept coming.
And you were like, stop speeding. Like, it's
Exactly.
not safe.
Now they have these little kid things in the roads with the little shines with the hats and saying, kids at play. Not then.
Not Mothman at
Not
play.
Mothman. I couldn't put moth signs because then people would look for me.
Mm-hmm. And you don't want people looking for you. And so, like, I guess, like, the one thing that, like, I have a question about that, like, just from, like, David kind of being like, Mothman, is, like, it seems like sometimes, like, disasters are, like, happening around you. And, like that David was like, oh my gosh, like, this one guy, he's, like, so ugly. He's, like, I can't even look at him in the face. Like, and he has, like, 17 different, like, eyes in his eye. Like, it's, like, a moth's face. And, like, people cry when they see him. And, like, he's so ugly. Like, you're going to cry if you ever meet him. And, like, I can't even tell you how ugly this person is. And, like, how does that make you feel?
He's terrifying. Look at him. I mean,
Oh, I thought we were talking about you, David. I'm sorry.
why would I be talking about myself?
I don't know because we've become friends and she's not
Mhm.
terrified. So obviously,
Look in the left, count them, 17. Look in the right, count them, 17. Now look at me. Look at my left, 1. Look at my right, half.
how dare you? I've lost one. 16 and 17. Thank you very much.
Let's not be ableist, David.
Yes, I have a patch on it. You just can't.
I'm
see.
colorblind.
I'm sure you are.
Yeah, red recordings, green recordings, shades of green. They all just look.
Shades of gray, shades of Grayson.
Thank you.
We just need to learn how to accept new people. And the part of this process, David, is, like, you not being so judgy. Like,
Yes,
remember the
I
Caesar
agree.
salad?
Romans, but also, how many people were on that bridge?
Okay, like, what bridge are you guys talking about?
Silver Bridge, 1967. I was in Camden, New Jersey, nowhere near the bridge. Now, I was at the bridge nights before, technically, trying to get a good view of the stars because I heard rumors of meteor showers. So what I did was I flew to the top, saw some things, heard some yelling and screaming on the bridge, and jumped away. And then all of a sudden, I'm in Camden, New Jersey, visiting a friend. Yes, David, I have friends. And all of a sudden, I get back towards town, and people are yelling, "You murderer!" And I wasn't sure what was going on. Then I see in the newspaper, Mothman kills 46 people.
Listen, I was there every night. I saw you planting and scheming on the top of the bridge, and it just so happens to fall down. Coincidence? I think not.
I also, David, like to take number 2s up there in peace because it feels nice up in the sky. And I don't like putting it on cars, okay? There, you caught me.
And he should have the freedom. If he wants to do that, David, like, in therapy the other day, when I was overhearing your conversation on accident.
Listening in.
On accident, your therapist said, find your bliss. #blessed. And I was kind of like, what does that mean? Like, find your bliss. And I think what she meant is, like, you should be able to poop on a bridge if you want to. Like, if that's what makes him happy, like, who's it hurting?
46 people and a number of injured.
But Grayson, you said it wasn't your fault. So, like, that must have been pretty shocking to you when people were like, you did this. Like, Mothman.
Yes, I was astounded. And the scoundrels at Smith & Boyle, you will pay dearly.
You think they, like, just built a bad bridge and they blamed it on you?
Shoddy maintenance. They were going bankrupt. The government was on their tail. It was them.
And is that why the men in black were following you?
To be clear, I don't wear black.
How would you know, David? You're quote-unquote colorblind, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Caught.
Gotcha.
Who wears glasses at night?
Someone who's blind, David. Someone who's blind.
Blind people, men in black, people on drugs.
And really, really cool men.
You could trust 2 out of the 4 of those. Guess which ones?
Will Smith.
The blind and the druggies.
I would agree to that.
Okay, so we found some common ground. That's a great start. I guess, like, so you didn't cause a Silver Bridge accident. That was oopsie business fault.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I was in Camden, New Jersey.
His oopsie caused the business fall.
The oopsie was me going to the restroom on the bridge. Guilty as charged, David. Guilty as charged. Multiple times.
But I don't remember, like, in that report you sent me where you're like, Mothman, like, ack. There was nothing that was like, and then poop was a really big factor in why this bridge fell.
There's a lot that I can do. Flying up to the top of the bridge to look at Mothman poop is not one of them that I can or want to do. But he was there. The bridge fell. That's all there is to it.
But how can you call yourself a bounty hunter / investigative journalist if you're not doing all the research?
I was there. I saw him.
Oh, you were there. How do we know it wasn't you?
And if you didn't, like, cause this problem, then, like, all the other times, like, are you causing any calamities?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not. Preposterous.
You're just doing your own thing then.
That's all I do. And I want peace, quiet at night.
You like nighttime?
Oh, I love nighttime.
What's your favorite thing about nighttime?
The moon.
Aw, that's beautiful.
The stars.
David loves the moon too. But, like, sometimes, like, I'll be, like, finishing up work late and I'll just, like, peek around the corner and I'll just see David, like, staring at the moon through a window, like, staring at it, like, shaking with rage.
I know wherever I am looking at the moon, that somewhere the beast is looking at the same moon.
Isn't that kind of cute, though? Aren't we all just staring at the moon while someone else is staring at the moon? Like, the 3 of us could look at the moon tonight in different places and we'd all be looking at the same thing. And I think that's kind of like a universal, like, human cryptid experience is, like, moon gazing.
I'm going to find this beast and hunt it down and kill him with my bare hands.
You have human hands, David.
It's true, David.
You know what I mean.
And, like, I think, like, now that I know you, Grayson, you don't have bare hands. You have moth hands.
Moth hands with the wings.
You got moth wings. Your wings are beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. I take care of them.
They look very well polished. Your 34 eyes are like 33 eyes
33,
are
thank you.
doing great. Like so many different things to see, I'm sure.
Yes, multiple angles. And I do apologize. I've put a patch on this one and I drew an eye just so people wouldn't question it too often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I didn't even question when I came in.
Oh,
I was
you
like,
did
I
not.
appreciate the comfort that you're trying to instill in my body.
Yes. But when people like David pointed out and point out the inconsistency, that's when I get a little bit irate. So I do apologize.
Yeah, and it's a little bit humiliating, I'm sure, to be like called out on something that you're like paranoid about. Like,
yes.
For me, sometimes people have been like, you're like so blonde. Like, it's like scary how blonde you are. Like, what sort of experiment came out of like Nazi Germany to make you look like this? And I say like, well, actually, like I just spend a lot of time in the sun and like
sun-kissed hair, as it would
yeah,
be.
exactly. And like I always feel embarrassed when people are like, you're so blonde and you're so tan and like, who is this? Like, where did you come from? And I have to feel like, you know, you have to like stand up for yourself a little bit.
And you tell them, no, not Nazi Germany. Thank you very much.
I'm going to be honest, that eye patch completely fooled me. I thought you had 17 on both sides.
Good. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've worked very hard on that.
And do you like feel like when you meet people or when you walk up to them, like, does it hurt you when they react like, ah? Or are you kind of like, I prefer it this way?
Sometimes. My favorite time to come out, obviously, is Halloween. Nobody questions me. I get to peruse around town. But people do notice that I am freakishly tall. And then when I open my wings, they ask me where I bought them. And I get a little bit hurt, but I feel good on the inside because I do look good.
And like the Mothman Festival, have you ever gone to that?
Yes, once. And I'm still irate about it because they make about $2 million every festival. And I have not seen a dime. I'm owed at least a portion of every Mothman festival since the beginnings.
Because of intellectual property rights, right?
Exactly. If anybody wants to represent me legally, please come find me or start heading towards the TNT plant or don't. But make sure you let AB know that you're a lawyer so then we can talk.
But have you ever like gone to one, like they have like Mothman like costume competitions? Have you like ever entered one?
I tried to in 1987, but it just got too weird after that. People started picking me apart and apparently I have a scent that the others don't. And they started to question that scent.
It's very distinct smell. I've been to every one of these competitions waiting for the next time you show up. I know.
It's like
I was there.
mothballs.
I think David plants mothballs around the town just to keep me out. I have this feeling because sometimes I just feel queasy when I'm flying around.
The more that people know he's in the area, the more they'll pay attention. The less he'll come around, the less damage he'll cause. So I got to plant his scent.
Well, I guess that makes me like question you, David, like kind of like, where's the beef? Like, what's your beef with the Mothman? Like, why? It sounds like he's just living his life. Like, maybe a bridge falls down. Like, maybe a building collapses. Like, maybe a town in West Virginia catches on fire. Like, doesn't sound like, it just sounds like he lives in West Virginia. And like, couldn't anyone in West Virginia be like causing calamities? Like, why do you believe, like, why are you so angry at Mothman?
Yes, David, do tell.
At least the Shiners take responsibility for what they've done.
How dare you?
They cause addiction, yes.
And blindness.
Cause fires, and apparently blindness. Not colorblind, just saying. Well, I am, but it doesn't cause colorblindness.
Moving
Nice.
on.
But when you take out a whole bridge and don't even acknowledge that you might be part of it.
Was not, David. You know it was Smith and Boyle, just like I do, and the government.
Not arguing it's the government,
Thank you.
but Smith and Boyle, they're wonderful people. They do have some financial issues, or did have some financial issues. RIP, but, well, company, not them.
Good riddance.
They're still alive. Companies, after the bridge, they're gone. But
Good riddance to all of them.
we can't blame the people. We got to blame the cryptid. He's there. The bridge isn't anymore.
But don't you think that like sets up a narrative of like making Mothman like an scapegoat?
You mean a Scapegoat. There's no E.
Is that one of the cryptids that you hunted? Because I haven't seen that dossier yet.
No, the word is scapegoat. There is no such thing. Well, goats can escape. I guess that would make it an escape goat. But
Well, I think it's like the expression is like, it's an escape goat. Like, run and catch it. And while like you're catching the goat, someone's stealing your berries. And like, I think what you're saying like is kind of like, he's like an escape goat. He's like running around. And while they're doing that, Smith and Boyle is like figuratively stealing the berries, which is like financial compensation from big insurance, right?
are you okay?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. But I'm right, aren't I? It's an escape goat.
100%.
I'm not. It's scapegoat. I'm not saying who's in whose pocket. I'm not saying who owed who money. But there might be a chance that Smith and Boyle cut corners to save on costs.
Crooks.
And maybe Grayson here is just trying to like set the record straight, you know, like let people know that big bridge, big construction is like hurting our country. Like, I mean, it's no secret that like infrastructure is,
Absolutely. It gets a C+ at the best.
especially in like older parts of the country, like ye old East Coast. Like, who knows how old those bridges are? And like,
They don't collapse, do they, David? And I've been on top of many bridges.
what's your favorite bridge now?
Ooh, Pennsylvania has some really nice bridges. They look like farmhouses.
Over the
They're
Susquehanna,
beautiful. Yes. Yes.
the Susky.
None of them have collapsed. Hint, hint.
From you.
You'd think like if he has this like penchant for like bridge hangs, it's not just gonna stop in like 1967 because like one of the bridges fell apart. Like if there hasn't been like another like, oh my god, like the bridge is down, then like probably it was Smith and Boyle.
Oh, no, probably. It was.
It was Smith and Boyle. And like we shouldn't just like listen to him and like deny the fact that he was made a scapegoat in this situation because you feel some sort of old tension, right? Like he just came here today to like speak his truth and fight the power, fight the man, the Mothman fighting human man. And I think that's really admirable that he like kind of wanted to like set the record straight and like kind of take down big business in a way that like most Americans aren't. He's kind of a true patriot when you look at it like that.
I will say you can't trust the government. They obviously cut corners on everything, including people.
Boy, do we know it.
Amen.
But I'm willing to do something I didn't do that night. Mothman,
Yes, David.
take a 2 on the table.
Right here.
Show
right
me
now.
the evidence. I want to see if it's corrosive or not.
Done. Here we go.
You can use the bathroom first and then bring it out if you'd like.
Nope. I need to
I will
stare at
do
the
it
source.
right on this table to
Oh,
prove
no.
my point. Madam, would you please turn away?
Yes.
Okay. Ready? A moth's diet isn't the greatest, so I apologize.
You need more fiber.
Okay. Let me settle back in my seat. Look,
Is that pyramid shaped?
It's kind of like a bird.
That surprisingly doesn't smell at all.
No.
thank you.
It's less like horrifying than I expected, but at the same time, like it will be my job to clean it up later.
It's almost like a centerpiece on a table,
It will ferment soon. So
but it's also not
Yes.
going through.
no, like I said,
So it couldn't have been him.
case closed.
Well, I mean, clearly he who smelt it didn't dealt it.
And obviously, you cannot smell it, David. Can you even tell what color it is?
Brown?
No. But that's irrelevant.
Yeah, it's a good try.
Wait, am I actually colorblind?
I think what I'm noticing with like you, David, is like you might be situationally colorblind, like kind of like how like a girl who studied abroad in like France like pretends that she dreams in French sometimes. It's like I think you do it when you want to like seem a little bit interesting, and I totally think that's something that like your therapist like might want to explore with you, because I do believe you believe you're colorblind, but I don't think you are.
Who's to say?
Who's to say, indeed? But like, I think we've had like a really good conversation about this. And I think like, I feel like I've made a new friend in Grayson. Like,
as I to you.
I would love to visit the munitions plant
By all
someday.
means, just find me.
I'll
and
walk there.
I will allow you to step foot.
And like,
Do not bring David, please.
I won't bring David, but like,
Thank you.
I guess like to kind of like wrap it up for everyone. Like, how do you feel about coming to talk to David today.
Well, I'm glad we've cleared the air, so to speak, over this debacle.
And surprisingly, the air does not smell.
The air still feels very clear.
And look, solid now.
Solid as a rock.
That cleanup's going to be pretty easy now.
Very easy.
Yeah.
They do look dense.
I mean, it's part of the job. Like, it's like throwing away the Caesar salad, throwing away the, like, Mothman excrement.
You got to earn room and board somehow.
Oh, yeah, I do live here now. I wonder if my mom misses me. David, how do you feel talking to Mothman? Do you feel like what's your body's like reaction to this? What's your mind's reaction to this? What's your soul's reaction to this?
I feel like I need to take a 2 on the top of a bridge.
And you might get new perspective on things. And like, I guess now that like the air's been a little bit cleared, what does the future hold for you, Grayson?
Maybe city council for Point Pleasant, possibly. Maybe the local school board or HOA president. I'm really not sure. Maybe lifeguard, just in case.
Yeah, just in case there's more bridge accidents.
Yes.
Like, you'd like to
Qualify
help.
Smith and Boyle.
And I admire someone who's like kind of like anti-government, like trying to like take on their own take of government. Like, I think the way that we change is by making a change.
Yes.
You got to change from the inside out if you want to change anything big.
Exactly.
And that's why you're in therapy, isn't it, David?
Many, many reasons.
Well, Grayson, it's been like really, really fun talking to you. Like, I know like before you came over, we were like DMing on Instagram. I loved all the photos of the munitions plant. Like, it's so like grunge, corporate, like industrial chic vibe.
Thank you for the light bulb pictures as well.
Yeah. I know you like lights, and like I love taking pictures of lights. Like, oh my God, I just could stare at lights for hours. Like when David looks at the moon, I'm looking at a light bulb. Like,
I don't blame you.
it's like a little moon inside your house.
Are you part moth?
No. But on my sister's boyfriend's family's side, they do have some like mothy tendencies. So I think like that's how Grace and I like kind of related, was like I understood like where he was coming from, especially like light wise, you know?
No, but we can move on.
Well, you don't have to understand it to know that it's real. Thank you so much, Grayson. The door's behind you.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, so he like didn't. I guess it makes sense that he wouldn't use the door because he like is a moth. But now there's a hole in the roof, but you can see the moon through it, which is kind of nice.
Do you know carpentry? Because you're going to have to fix that and then clean this up too.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could YouTube it.
Therapeutic as Folklore is produced by Caroline Schaeffer and David Songne. Special voice talent by Kevin McNease.